going on, Jerome's loose collection of Vikings tidbits on this beautiful, hot, es muy caliente Tuesday afternoon. First up is Vikings are changing the time for the first joint practice against the Arizona Cardinals on Wednesday. This is what they tweeted. Due to the anticipated heat, the Vikings training camp joint practice with the Arizona Cardinals on Wednesday, August 23rd, will now begin at 11 a.m. Now, it was supposed to start at noon, so whatever. If they wanted to jam this thing in early in the morning, yeah, go ahead, because obviously, we are the franchise of Corey Stringer, rest in peace, and you don't want to mess around with heat, with players and especially also the fans. I mean, this is a fan attendance practice over the next two joint practices, so you don't want to mess around with that. And frankly, it's going to be potentially dangerously hot. So if they just wanted to move this practice inside and cancel it for the fans, I don't think anyone would have any problem with that. But something to monitor. And if you are headed out to TCO, make sure you hydrate and then get after it there. From Tuesday's walkthrough, the Vikings had a truncated walkthrough on Tuesday afternoon. Alec Lewis, the athletic, go. A couple of Vikings practice walkthrough things. Cornerback Mekhi Blackman is active, operating as normal, which is good. He went down with an arm injury slash what they're calling a shoulder injury. So it's good that he's back. He did miss the Titans preseason game, but we'll see what happens if he operates as a full participant in joint practices against Arizona. Brian Osama is mixing in with the action. So Osama returned to the walkthrough yesterday. He was missing for about a week and a half, and also him missing allowed for the ascendancy of Ivan Pace Jr., although I believe that the future is Osama and Pace, and when the Vikings' first team offense was operating on Monday, it was Osama and Pace at the two off-ball spots, so Also, rookie Jaquelin Roy, who's missed the first two preseason games with an injury, undisclosed, is taking a notable number of snaps with some of the starters, so it's good to see him back into the mix. Kevin McConnell had said that they had hoped to get him back this week, so him having a good week of practice and potentially playing in the final preseason game, getting him ready for the season, which would be good, because I think that Jaquelin Roy has an opportunity to be a big part of this defensive line rotation from the get. And then Andrew Kramer-Strib, slew of players not participating in today's walkthrough in 100-plus heat index. Joint practice coming up for Cardinals next 2 days. No Lewis Seen. So Seen walked off of the practice field yesterday. He had what appeared to be a right leg or potentially a groin injury. So watch that this week. King Kene still missing. Tay Gowan, CJ Calden, the two backup cornerbacks. Najee Thompson, who was dinged up and potentially in the concussion protocol after the Saturday game against the Titans. Abraham Beauplan, the backup UDFA linebacker. Garrett Mogg, who's been sort of in and out of action with an injury. Harry, now I assume this is Harrison Smith. It could be Harrison Phillips. Never really know. Could be Dirty Harry. Don't know. But yeah, Harrison, this is probably more a veteran maintenance day, which it's been kind of weird. So last year, Kevin O'Connell gave a lot of veteran days off, but this would be the first for Harrison Smith. Asazio Tamuo, that's a new addition as well. Blackman Asama doing installs again. Hunter back after an excused absence on Monday. Kevin O'Connell and company take things very precautiously with injuries. I wouldn't read too much into it. I mean, some of it just could be rest, some of it could be maintenance, some of it could be legitimate injury. But we'll see how they line up on Wednesday at the first joint practice. Also, update on TJ Hawkinson as he still is battling that ear infection. Alec Lewis, the athletic, go. Vikings tight end TJ Hawkinson was participating a bit more in today's practice. Looks pretty fluid or moist. Duncan Hines. As Adem Muzutani said to me the other day, the offense just kind of feels different with Addison on the field, with the entire group, including Hawkinson. And yeah, I'm pretty damn fired up to see what this full-on offense is going to be, because I haven't really seen it. Through various injuries, it seems like always some has been dinged up or being held out. And of course, you haven't seen that in preseason. I doubt that you will on Saturday. But week one, historic U.S. Bank Stadium against the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. The first team offensive line actually gets their ish together, and Kirk operating and wheeling and dealing and handing off to Madison and Chandler, and you got JJ and Addison getting open, getting separation, and KJ's doing his damn thing, and then you got Hawkinson and Josh Oliver, the new Bash brothers, getting things open in the run game as well as getting open in the red zone. Whew. Sexy. I just went from 6 to midnight, man. PFF. Ooh, speaking of rookies, speaking of injuries. So highest graded first round rookies preseason. Jordan Addison clocking in 84.5. Now, it's a minimum 20 snaps, and Addison played a couple series against the Seahawks. That's at 1 catch for 22 yards, but also he did have that sideline grab, which would have been good for 16, and it was good to go if the ref hadn't been an idiot, as well as if Kevin O'Connell had challenged. But, you know, who challenges in preseason except O'Connell challenged against the Titans. But good to see Addison in that mix, and Will Anderson is leading the way. He's had himself a hell of a preseason, the one-man wrecking crew coming in out of Alabama. I mean, he better be good, because the Titans or the Texans essentially gave up their first-round pick next year, which is going to be high, to the Cardinals for him. Jack Campbell, the off-ball from the Hawkeyes, doing some good things with the Lions, unfortunately. JSN has been putting on a show with the Seahawks. Unfortunately, has a broken hand, which could cost him the beginning of the season. And then Felix Zuma, the pride of Kansas State, coming in, doing some good things for Kansas City as well. And then, so this is what happens. Like, it doesn't matter. Like the media outlet, this is from Sunday Night Football, NBC. They just love like twisting the knife a little bit. So home winning percentages among NFC teams since 1970. Vikings, 67% of the time. It works every time. So the Vikings win 2/3 of their games at home, but of course, no Super Bowl. And then the rest of the list, Cowboys have won Super Bowls back in the 90s. Packers, allegedly have won Super Bowls. Seahawks won a Super Bowl. Legion of Boom, Russell Wilson. Niners have won a bajillion Super Bowls. Commies even won 3 Super Bowls with 3 separate quarterbacks under Joe Gibbs. The Eagles allegedly won a Super Bowl. I don't remember where. Bears won one back in 85. Just ask them. The Rams won in 2020. Of course, 2021. Of course, Sean McVay has won 0 Super Bowls without Kevin O'Connell. Also, of course, the 99 Rams, they ripped that one off. Falcons, not so much. Hey, so we're not alone in the top 10. There we go. But, yeah, the Vikings, whether it's the Met and the Purple People Eaters and Bud Grant, or whether it's the Dome and Denny Green doing things in the Metrodome, and we're going to Miami. And, of course, historic U.S. Bank Stadium. Brrr. Or, those 2 random years at TCF. Vikings get it done at home. But hasn't added up to a lot of silverware yet. It's unfortunate. Something that is fortunate. So our guy Eli Corbett, graphic designer extraordinaire. This is tight. This is tight, man. So the Hunter and Agent Zero. How many sacks will these two combine for in 2023? Well, they're going to combine for 23 and a half, and Daniil's going to have 23 of them. Davenport, he's not consistent. So he had half a sack last year. He went full Lance Armstrong. He'll do that again this year. Also, his half sack last year was on Kirk Cousins, which is funny. But this is looking sexy as hell. This is looking like a 80s movie poster. It looks good, man. It looks really good. Big time respect. And then lastly, we should do a full video of tracking like former Vikings. Cameron Dantzler just recently signed with the Houston Texans. So this is Dantzler's 4th team in 5.5 months. So the Vikings waived him in March. He was picked up by the Commies. They let him go. He was picked up by the Bills. They let him go. And now he's inked up with the Texans, trying to make their rooster or practice squad. And I think he has a chance, because Texans are pretty thin in a lot of spots, notably cornerback, outside of Stingley. So, I think Dantzler has a chance. It just never really clicked. Dantzler had all the opportunities here in Minnesota. He started, he was handed things, and he was just up and down, just really up and down. But rooting for him, and hopefully he gets things done in Houston. But that's it. That is the Vikings Tuesday afternoon news dump. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull production value as I burp.